She calls me a blathering bag of baloney. A blathering bag of baloney. Good morning, guys. Aaron Dorr here with the Missouri Firearms Coalition. It has been a crazy hot week in the fight for gun rights here in Missouri. By now, most of you probably are aware of the fact that MOFC has been pouring on the pain on Cindy O'Laughlin, the Senate Majority Floor Leader, as well as Caleb the Rodent Rowden, because of their refusal to treat IP reform with the respect this issue deserves. So yesterday, and maybe today, I guess we'll find out, Cindy. Yesterday, in particular, we had teams of MOFC members going all throughout Cindy O'Loughlin's district, telling voters, telling gun owners that Cindy O'Laughlin was blocking IP reform from coming to the floor for a vote. There was a filibuster underway in the Senate, and we were urging gun voters to contact the good senator and tell her to stop blocking the bill. Predictably, Cindy has lashed back out with a big message about me. What does she call me? She calls me, hold on here. Calls me I lost it. Hold on. Blathering bag of baloney. A blathering bag of baloney. Good stuff. So I'm going to give you guys a brief overview on where things are with the filibuster, where we are with IP reform, and then we're going to also go through O'Loughlin's letter here so you guys know the truth about what's happening right now here in Jeff City when it comes to the fight for gun rights and the fight for IP reform. So this video is being cut on Thursday morning at 10:15. So things are happening by the hour right now. So this is current information as of Thursday at 10:15. Be aware of that. So briefly, for those who are asking us on our Facebook page, what is IP reform and how does it impact our gun rights? I'll give you a brief overview. We have great gun laws in Missouri. You guys have all made that happen over the years. We've passed constitutional carry, stand your ground law, SAPA, Castle Doctrine expansion, lifetime carry permits. We have solid gun laws in Missouri. And the Democrats can't pass gun control right now in the state because the Senate can block almost anything with a filibuster right now. So the Democrats know this. Bloomberg knows this. They want to pass red flags. They want to repeal constitutional carry. They want to pass gun registration. They simply lack the power to do it right now. However, what they could do, what they're trying to do, what they want to do right now very badly is put gun control on the ballot, bypass the legislature, get enough signatures in St. Louis and Kansas City to put gun control on the ballot and have people mandate gun control right into our state constitution. You've heard this happening perhaps in places like Ohio just last year when it comes to the abortion issue, for example. So in red states with big blue cities that have easy IP laws, initiative petition laws, the left will use this IP process to skirt the General Assembly and put gun control or whatever their leftist plan is directly onto the ballot. And they trust that leftist voters in places like St. Louis and Kansas City, Columbia, and Springfield will put this into our Constitution. And if they do that, they could very easily repeal stand your ground law and constitutional carry, and they could then also insert gun registration, red flag laws, AR-15 bans, the whole 9 yards. Okay, so that is why IP reform has been the gun rights issue in Missouri this year. IP reform would simply change the threshold by which a George Soros or Michael Bloomberg billionaire could waltz into Missouri and basically buy the ability to put gun control into our state constitution. IP reform is the number one issue for lots of people this year: gun owners, pro-lifers, border security people, election integrity people, pretty much, all the things that we all care about, because everyone knows that if we don't deal with this, we're going to see tremendous attacks on our freedom at the ballot box every 2 years for the next decade at least, and they will systematically destroy Missouri. So that's the background of what we are doing here with IP reform. So you would think that if your number one issue was defending Missouri, keeping Missouri red, defending guns, unborn babies, border, election integrity, that'd be the way you would give that issue incredibly preferred treatment once session began in January, right? Wrong. What has happened since January is that leadership, especially in the Senate, has been blocking or delaying action on IP reform. This began way back in January. Senate Republicans, the conservatives, were fighting like hell to advance the bill. And then Cindy O'Loughlin, Caleb Rowden come along, angry at them. They remove them from their committee assignments, or their leadership positions anyway. They take away their parking spots. How petty is this? In the state capitol, they removed some of their office budget for the year and treated them like a bunch of children because they were fighting to get IP reform on the floor early this session. You see, you always put bills on the floor in order based on what you care about. So in 2021, when we passed SEPA, then Speaker Vescovo made SEPA, if not the first, it was one of the first bills, not gun bills, the first bills, period, on the House floor in early February. And that way we had time to get it done and ensure it was not delayed in a chamber. That's how you treat important issues. O'Loughlin stalled on this all through January, all through February, all through March, and finally in April, they passed IP reform in the Senate. But already we're 3 or 4 months into session, and we're running the heck out of time. The House, now to be clear, the Senate passed a weakened version of IP reform. The House took the bill, quickly turned it around, improved it, put the parts that were removed in the Senate back into the House bill, sent it back to the Senate, and that is where we are today. O'Loughlin continues, as well as Caleb Rowden, continues to slow roll the movement on this bill. Now, if everything else that I say, if you remember nothing else, remember this. We adjourn May 14. Okay. Today is May 2. So we're 12 days away. They are adjourned as of right now for the rest of today. They are adjourned for Friday. They are adjourned for Saturday. They are adjourned for Sunday. And they're adjourned, of course, the following weekend. So we're down to approximately 8 days left to deal with the most consequential issue facing Missourians this year, IP reform. 8 days. So just don't forget that. When she gives you all of her excuses, we're down to the wire, and we still haven't got it done. So Tuesday of this week, Senate conservatives, guys like Senator Bratton, Senator Eigel, Hoskins, who else? Schroer, Koenig, and eventually Mike Moon told their leadership team, we are not going to allow you guys to move your other agenda items until you deal with IP reform. It is the number one issue this year. And so they began once O'Loughlin said, basically, get the F out of my office. And again, if you have not seen our previous videos, O'Loughlin has the biggest gutter mouth. It is so shameful how she speaks. It is so unladylike. I could not even believe the words that come out of her mouth. It's just shameful for a grandmother to talk like that. It's disgusting behavior. So when she said, basically, get the F out of my office, the conservatives said, you know what? We're going to get on the floor and we're going to begin filibustering the Senate. And what that means is simply they're going to talk about anything and everything around the clock until Senate leadership decides we're going to play ball and pass IP reform. That filibuster began 9:30 on Tuesday. The filibuster officially ended at 3:30 this morning. So it was the longest filibuster in Missouri history, and it forced Cindy O'Loughlin to make concessions to the conservatives. So I'm going to break away here from her letter. That's coming in just a minute. And can I tell you where things are right now? So we had the budget. We have the FRA bill, which is a pro-life issue, and we have IP reform. These are the three big issues remaining this session here in Jefferson City. And so the concern we've had all along is that they're going to pass the budget, pass FRA, and the Democrats were going to mount their own filibuster, lock down the Senate, and adjourn it for the year without passing IP reform. If that happens, and I should say when that happens, the only way to break a filibuster in the Senate is to have 18 senators who will pass a PQ motion. It refers to moving the previous question. When you pass a PQ motion, which happens pretty much the end of every session here in Jeff City in the Senate, it ends debate on the filibuster, it ends the filibuster, and it moves a vote on the previous question. It is considered a very acrimonious, kind of a middle finger gesture. And usually when that happens, it is the last bit of business accomplished in the Senate. And so Cindy O'Loughlin has continually refused to assure the conservatives that we'd have the votes for the PQ motion. So if she did the budget and she did FRA, the Democrats grab the floor, they filibuster, they lock it down, and we get nothing when it comes to IP reform. And that would allow Michael Bloomberg, George Soros, and all their C4 organizations to come in here and possibly put gun control on the ballot yet this year, but certainly for 2026. And so as this was all happening, MOFC had our members calling O'Loughlin, texting O'Loughlin, and their own senators and Caleb Rowden, the Senate president, demanding action on IP reform. Cindy, like I said, a very unpleasant woman, got very upset because she doesn't like being called out for delaying the biggest gun rights issue in Missouri this year. So yesterday, we had teams of volunteers crisscrossing her district all over Northeast Missouri, passing out flyers. And now we have her response. I'm going to go through her response, but just before I even get to this, I haven't even told you yet what happened. The outcome of the filibuster, we won, is the short version, so stay tuned for that. But a lot of you are asking us, what about this statement from Cindy O'Loughlin? It's, what is it? It's about 6 paragraphs long. We're going to read through it line by line. Nothing to hide. Here we go. This is from Cindy O'Loughlin. One of the things that we have plenty of here at the Capitol is activist groups. Sounds kind of nefarious. Not sure why she phrases it that way. Activists want to be involved in topics of their interest, and it can range from pro-life to elderly issues, you name it. Okay, fair enough. Most of the time, activist groups are here pushing for whatever they feel is in their best interest, and they feel passionately about these causes. I understand that and appreciate their efforts. So one of these organizations is the Missouri Firearms Coalition, of which I am a member. We'll get to that in just a few minutes. Right now, the Missouri Firearms Coalition is spreading falsehoods that I am blocking initiative petition reform, and they have gone so far as to distribute the flyer in communities telling people that I am working to weaken, or whatever they mean by this, their gun rights. What utter hogwash. Okay, let's do the math on this. Session began in early January, and now we're on May 2nd, and we still do not have IP reform done and on the governor's desk. You are the Senate majority floor leader. You and the Senate president decide the schedule for negotiation, the schedule for debate, the schedule for the process on what happens when here in Jefferson City. It's May 2, and we have not seen you guys finish the fight for IP reform. You've attacked the conservatives all session long who are pushing for this, but now we are spreading lies when we say that you are delaying the fight to pass IP reform. It's not hogwash, Cindy. It's 100% the truth. You have been disgraceful in your treatment of the hottest issue for gun owners and pro-lifers and people that care about border security, election integrity, and anything else. You've been shameful in your treatment towards these activists. And of course, we proudly maintain that moniker. The current situation here is that once again, we are tied up in a filibuster from, this is the good part, from the Chaos Caucus. You see, when Senators Bratton and Eigel and who else? We got Moon and Hoskins and Koenig, these guys, when they take to the floor to fight for gun rights, to fight for their district, and to fight for Missouri, they are causing chaos in Cindy O'Loughlin's mind. Not she's been delaying this for 5 months and they're desperately trying to help us save our gun rights. No, they're causing chaos. That's how it works, right? If your leadership, you want to have complete control, and if anyone dares to criticize that, you're going to come after them and call them the Chaos Caucus. Although, to be totally clear, when it comes to monikers, the Chaos Caucus, like the Chaos Caucus, that's a pretty good moniker. I might keep that if I was those boys. Okay. They want initiative petition reform to be brought to the floor, and it must be right now. She's all angry about that. Yes. We want it right now because you, Cindy, have sat on your butt and done next to nothing to make this a priority for 5 months, or at least over 4 months, 4 full months. So when she's mad because they want it now we're down to the wire. We got like 8 days left, maybe 9. Cindy O'Loughlin has delayed this. It's her fault that we're stuck in this position on May 2. So yes, we want it done right now. We are now into the 30th hour of their filibuster. Way to go, boys. This is the longest filibuster in Missouri history. It is over as of about 6 hours ago, more than that in a few minutes. We have passed initiative petition reform to the House in the past. The bill added several things to it. It was turned back to the Senate, and we now have a commitment. I have made a commitment to go to the IP bill on Monday, May 6th. So she is trying to sell this to us as a positive. She wants us to believe that this is a sign of her leadership. But again, May 6th is suspiciously close to May 14. It is very near the end of session. And again, you prioritize what you care about. And we're still stuck here in May because Cindy O'Loughlin will not prioritize IP reform. Right now, we're in the middle of the budget and getting any changes sent to the House. We have a constitutional deadline of May 10 to finish the budget. The budget is long and complicated and generally has a lengthy debate on the floor. So we need to get this on the floor, hold the debate, and get it to the House by the end of this week. No kidding, Cindy. If you would have dealt with IP reform, I don't know, back in March, you wouldn't be sitting here in May dealing with this now. The reason why you're juggling FRA, the budget, and IP reform is because you continually refused to make this a priority. That's not our fault. That's your fault. We have been blocked from doing this on the floor as it's tied up with the filibuster. The Chaos Caucus is demanding that we do the IP bill first. Yeah, we want to keep Missouri free. If we don't fix this problem over the next 10 years, we'll see every issue we care about destroyed by outside money from the radical left who can afford to have people walking in parking lots all across the state, putting their issues on the ballot. Everyone knows it. Yes, we want it done now. This is nonsensical and merely a way of causing an obstacle and stopping any work from happening. You have stopped the work from happening. You have sat on this for months. We're down to the wire. These guys are desperate. We're all desperate to save our gun rights. Yet somehow it's the Chaos Caucus who was at fault here. A couple paragraphs left. I believe we need IP reform to keep progressive issues from being passed on the ballot. I think we agree with something. It may be the first time in this letter. I will bring it up on Monday. What? Let's back up. I will bring it up on Monday. Really? We weren't told that until, I don't know, yesterday. I will bring it up on Monday. So let me just get this straight. You've been delaying on this for months and months and months. And now when you're getting hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of text messages from your district, all of a sudden you're going to bring it up on Monday. Sounds to me like the path that we took here at the Missouri Firearms Coalition paid major dividends. And then we'll have 2 weeks to work on it. We'll see. In the meantime, the budget needs to be debated and finished. It is the only sensible way to get the work done. The sensible way to get the work done, Cindy, is to deal with this issue months ago. Again, folks, whatever she says, no matter what comes out of her mouth, remember, it's May. She could have done this in January, could have done it in February, could have done it in March, could have done it in April. No. We're still here in May waiting for this. Here comes to me the funnest parts of all. Apparently, the Missouri Firearms Coalition is trashing me and creating all kinds of upset in my district. I've had phone calls with vulgar messages and irate text messages. Well, people are frustrated, Cindy. They're frustrated. They want you to do your job as the Senate majority floor leader and get this done. So, sorry, they're not going to be very, what am I going to do? Be thankful? Be happy that we have not got this done? You're crazy. Your brain's gone soft. This is uncalled for and not the first time I have had this happen. Exactly. It is uncalled for that you have delayed the hottest issue for gun owners in this state all dang session long. I do not appreciate this, Aaron Dorn. Now, let's talk about this. I think Everyone knows my name is Aaron Dorr. It's right there on your screen. It's Dorr, Cindy. Dorr. Like, don't let the door smack you on the way out. Dorr. Dorr. So I don't know why she keeps saying Aaron Dorn on all of her social media. I don't appreciate it, Cindy, being called Aaron Dorn. No. So, guys, this is how this works, right? Any normal, we'll call normal lobbyist organization, and any normal lobbyist in Jefferson City, if the Senate Majority Floor Leader called you out like this, they'd be in a panic. They'd be in a panic because their entire job, their entire organization's ability to pass bills is solely dependent upon their relationship with the legislature. That is not the case for us. We have always passed our bills through pressure, and we're not ever going to back away from that. So Cindy says, I don't appreciate it, Aaron Dorn. We don't appreciate you, Cindy. We do not appreciate your delays. We do not appreciate your vulgar mouth. We do not appreciate the way you've been attacking pro-gun senators. Your district is not, I can assure you of this, having been there all day yesterday, your district sure does not appreciate your delays on this either. So sorry about that. She says, Aaron Dorr, who is passionate about gun rights, that's the second thing we agree about, is looking to stir up controversy and make himself relevant. Oh, this is always a good one. So stir up controversy, make himself relevant. You know, Cindy, you're the Senate Majority Floor Leader, and you're responding to me. Granted, you got my name spelled wrong. So I guess you can decide for yourself what's relevant. We don't care about relevancy. We care about getting stuff done. And our pressure is why we have constitutional carry, send your ground law, everything else. We're going to keep fighting. We're going to keep pushing. You're going to get this done. That's just the way it's going to be. And here's the best part. He is a large, blathering bag of baloney. Frankly, Cindy, you've hurt me. You've offended me. Because I prefer bacon like every other red-blooded American man and woman does, not baloney. You've shoveled too much of that, frankly, in Jefferson City. That's why you're referring to baloney. If you want to know my stance on guns, ask me. Anyone who knows my stance knows I support gun rights and the Second Amendment. Well, doesn't everybody? It's Missouri. You're a Republican, so everybody has to say they support the Second Amendment. The problem is you're not fighting for it. And gun owners are sick to death of Roy Blunt-style hardcore rhinos who say they're pro-gun, do nothing when they're elected, and then actually, in Roy Blunt's case, attack our gun rights in the Senate. You are doing nothing right now to defend our gun rights, and we're sick and tired of it. Don't tell us how pro-gun you are, Cindy. Show us. My advice, here's her last phrase. My advice, cancel your membership with the Missouri Firearms Coalition. Cindy, let me do you a favor. I don't know if your membership is still current, but let me be very clear. You cannot cancel your membership. It has been absolved. You no longer have a membership in the Missouri Firearms Coalition. We don't grant memberships to rhinos who want a membership just to campaign on it. If we were that, we'd be the NRA. They dish out memberships and ratings to any old buddy who wants one because they're soft. We're not. So consider your membership completely dismissed and consider yourself on notice that gunners want you to get this thing done. They want it done immediately, and they're sick and tired of your delays. Guys, that is the letter. And my final comments are this. At 3:30 this morning, again, this is May 2, 2024. At 3:30 this morning, Cindy O'Laughlin, Caleb Rowden, and all the rest of the rhinos in Jeff City came to our champions who were filibustering, and they have pledged in writing, I want to be clear on this, in writing, that they've shown our allies this, they have in writing the names of 18 senators who suddenly will support the PQ motion to safely pass IP reform. That is a massive victory that was made possible by you guys and by all of the ferocious champions in the Senate who have been filibustering for well in excess of 30 hours. So excellent work from you guys, from our state senators. The schedule right now, they're going to come back into session Monday, I think around 1 o'clock, doing the budget first, then FRA. I don't like it, but that is what it is. Budget first, then FRA, then IP reform. And when the Democrats, it's not if, it's when the Democrats filibuster, and they will, these 18 senators who have their name on this PQ motion document will be enough senators to end the filibuster, move the previous question, and safeguard our gun rights. Guys, it is a massive victory made possible by you guys and by our allies in the Senate. The only question remaining is whether or not Cindy O'Loughlin will keep her word. Will she require the rest of those rhinos who've put their name on the PQ motion sheet to keep their word and support the PQ motion? Or will Cindy O'Loughlin screw us over one last time sometime late Wednesday or early Thursday next week? Time will tell. But remember this. Nothing, and I mean nothing, happens in Jefferson City of any kind of consequence without grassroots pressure. You guys have brought the pain. For that, you have my thanks. We'll keep you guys informed and share this video with everyone you know who is asking us about the response from Cindy O'Loughlin. Take care, guys, and stay free.